Okay, ladies, here we go on our hanger, in the hoop hanger cover. First, as you can see here, now she tells you in her video that you use a mesh type stabilizer, and I have run out. So actually I'm just using a tearaway, a medium weight tearaway in my hoop. I've put it in here, and then I'm going to take this to the machine, and I'm going to, the first step on the machine is to sew out a placement line on this. I'm going to bypass that step because I know I've made enough, and I want you to see I have my fabric here. I have put iron-on stabilizer on here. I've used German interfacing on the back of this, and it is cut, this piece of fabric is cut 9.5 by 11, and it fits perfect in this, inside this hoop. And so I'm going to lay it in there and let it go ahead and sew out, because I know it's big enough to sew that design on this hoop, and I don't have to go through this first step of this. So I'm going to take it to the machine, I'm going to sew out the first step, and we'll continue from there. Okay, here we are at the machine once again. I have the design downloaded. You can see there's both sides here, and it's going to sew it out right here. I'm using white thread on here because my background fabric is white, and so it's going to sew this out, and then I'm going to go to the next step. Okay, now we're going to move, and we're going to change our thread color and go on and start sewing out our design on this. And once we're all finished with that, I'll come back and show you the next step. Here you can see the design is already sewn out. This is the whole thing. And now what you would do, if you don't want to put piping around it, all you have to do is just put your other piece of fabric over it like this, cover it with your fabric, put it back on there, and this is the last step. It sews out this, and then you would trim that 1/4 inch all the way around that until you got to the ends, and it's 1/2 inch. But if you want piping on it, this is when you take it from the machine. You will put your piping on it, and I'll take it over to the table and show you how to put the piping around it, and then I'll bring it back and finish it. I have measured and cut my piece of piping that I need to fit around this design, and you can see I put a stripe of glue on the outside of that stitching line, because you're going to place the piping on that stitching line face down with the right side down. You're going to put it down here just like this, and you're going to cover this up, and you're going to glue this. This is how I did it, and glue it down. So I'm going to glue it all the way around, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I've got all the piping down on this, and the piping is right on that stitching line all the way around, and you can see I cut it so that it fits around the edge of here, and I'm going to go down closer so you can see it goes right around here, and that's how you put the piping down. Now you take your other fabric and you just lay it over that. I know I'm kind of doing this one-handed again. This is not a professional video like Sandra's. When she does hers, it's much better, but this is mine in a quick moment. So there you see. And now I'm going to take it back to the machine and do the final stitching. I have it back on the machine, and as you can see, it's about to stitch this out, and it's going to stitch right around this piping. Okay, I've trimmed them out, I've cut them out, and they're about a little scant 1/4 of an inch here, a little less maybe over here, just enough to make sure I have plenty to turn and they won't come apart or anything. And this is the normal length of these for a regular adult hanger. I'm going to go turn them, press them, bring them back, and show you how much I cut off for the baby hanger. Stay tuned. I've pressed it and I've turned it, and then I pressed it good. And now I'm going to cut off the extra. So you can see I have 1, 2, and about 1/2 is what I'm going to put it, 2.5 inches, and I'm going to cut it there so that folds under. And this yellow flower is just divided in half so that when I do this on both sides, pull it to the middle, those 2 flowers create another flower. But that's really covered up with the ribbon, so if you're off a little bit, it doesn't really matter, but this is how I did it to make it fit the baby hanger. So I'm going to cut those off, put it on the baby hanger, and I have one of the padded baby hangers, and I'm going to go sew it on there and then show you the finished product. Here's just a quick shot that shows you I've folded them under and I've gave them a good steam press, and when you sew them on there together they come out just about like that on the hanger. So now I'm going to slide one on the end of the hanger and show you how it works. Here it is on my little hanger, and you see there's the little middle part here. I'm going to take a needle with some white thread and I'm going to whip stitch this all the way around it, and then you will put your ribbon on the hanger, tie your ribbon around it, tie your bow, and it's all finished. And there's your new little baby hanger. They are really sweet, really cute. Now this is not a professional video. I want you all to know that Zandra does a fabulous job in doing this video whenever you join the Hoop Fun Club. And she has the designs, she has the video, shows you in depth, step by step on how to do this, and I am no way trying to take anything away from her, but you asked me to show you, and this is my little quick video of how it's done. Thanks. Hope you enjoy it. Finished product. Just wanted you to see.